One day a year that you normally would expect to wear a mask is the day that the two stupidest men in New York tell you can't. Well, not exactly that you can't, but you might get arrested for going to a party or something. It's Halloween today, and I'm back in Times Square just to sort of see what's going on in New York. You know, the weather is getting colder. It's actually very cold today. It was below 40 earlier. I think it might be a little warmer than that right now. There's something going on here, kind of like some kind of traditional African ritual in Father Duffy Square. I'm not really sure what we got there. Well, we got the drums, we got people hanging around, checking out the deal. I came up to Times Square because this is one area of New York that normally experiences a lot of activity during Halloween. And, you know, we've been checking out this part of town. Here we got I love that Transformers costume. Here's the naked cowboy again. Spoke to him last week. How are you not cold today, naked cowboy?
No, vote for America.
How are you not cold? We spoke to him last week. But anyway, we got the Transformers over there. This is a really low amount of activity for Times Square. You can already see China infiltrating with the panda bear. Captain America, are you worried about China taking over? You got the panda bear right behind you.
I don't mind about China.
You don't mind. You don't sound like you're even from America.
No, Peru.
Captain Peru. Okay, happy Halloween. So we got some people dressed up.
China City, new China City.
Say again?
It's gonna change New York to New China.
I agree. Why do you think that? Because they're destroying all the businesses?
Biden.
What about Biden? He wants to change it.
Yeah, of course.
I agree with you. Where are you guys visiting from, or do you live in New York?
We live here.
Where your accent sounds like Hungary. So you know what socialism and communism are all about.
I'm a freedom fighter now in the United States.
Do you think that they're keeping all the businesses closed so that they can scare everybody away, reduce the value of the real estate?
That's what
They're just scaring
everybody.
That's
What's happening. They want to empty New York. So Biden gonna get selected to be in the White House, and China gonna move in.
I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm worried like you are.
I hope.
Are you a citizen now? Will you vote on Tuesday?
I did.
And you're voting for Trump? You voted already
I did.
for Trump.
Trump.
Very good. Thank you for that. Enjoy Halloween. Be safe. Take care. And thank you for talking to me. Thank you.
You have to, because I know a lot. I've grown up in the communist country, and I know what happened, and I know what they had. Fighting with China is,
Very dangerous.
very dangerous, and then China helping Biden.
And you heard the story about his son and the laptop having all this information.
Oh yeah.
Can you believe the news trying to suppress that?
Oh, yes,
Twitter?
Of course, I can't believe it.
yeah.
Like they had, the FBI had the laptop for over a year or so.
But you sound like you were born in the United States.
And
are you two married?
No.
Just friends.
I'm originally from I'm originally from the Lower East Side here, but I live in Pennsylvania right now.
We are activists.
Activists. Yes, I am pro-Trump as well.
I'm in New York 3 times a day, or 3 times a week. I'm sorry.
Very good.
Stuff like that.
Well, if you guys want to see this video, go onto YouTube and look for Jason Goodman. That's
Jason
me.
Goodman?
You'll see yourselves on YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Be safe.
You too.
Enjoy the day. So see that it's nice to come out to Times Square, speak with New Yorkers, people who know about socialism and communism firsthand. The other thing that I wanted people to be able to see, now keep in mind, a lot of radio interference around. We never know what the police might be up to. This guy's throwing change into the street. I don't know what that's about, but if anything happens that terminates the broadcast, I will post it up for sponsors on subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. So we already see mischief makers running around, these guys on the bicycles, doing jumps, whatnot. Wheelie maniacs, Charles's favorite guys. But yeah, if the broadcast experiences any kind of interference, it'll be recorded here with me and it will go out for sponsors. Now, there's a phenomenon that is happening, I would say infrequently, but I noticed, see, I'm wearing gloves today, so it's hard to operate some of this stuff. I noticed that periodically there are people who will go into the comments on YouTube. They don't send me private emails, they don't send me direct messages. They want everybody to see it, but they'll make some sort of statement to the effect of, oh, you know, if this is so important, you should put it out for free. Why do you charge people for important information? The information is absolutely free, and anyone is welcome to come to New York or go to London with David Hawkins or go to New Zealand or go to Norway with Charles or, you know, spend 6-7 days a week working to find the information. It's absolutely free. But if you want to watch a professionally produced and I think entertaining video program about it, then I need to be compensated because I'm working on this all the time. This is my job. Reasonable people understand this. I'm not trying to condescend to audience members who are reasonable. I just want the people, because there are probably some people out there who are honest, innocent people making a comment. They want to see the information. They don't want to pay for a subscription for subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth, and they want it for free. It's possible, but I think more likely it's social engineers doing that. Now, wait a minute. I've found the Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner billboard. It has not disappeared. Charles and I were looking for this last week, so I'm glad I came back here. There it is. Wisconsinites? Why are they advertising about Wisconsinites? I don't know. There's a lawsuit going over this right now. There's a lot of lawsuits flying around. Yesterday was the first hearing in Emmys versus Multimedia System Design, my corporation. Crowdsource the Truth is just the brand name of this show. It's not a business entity. So these tricky guys who run the Emmys, there's a little kid dressed as the Flash. Halloween is fun. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's a pagan holiday and all that. Setting that aside, and I will get back to the Emmys lawsuit, setting all that aside, Halloween is fun. Dress up, little kids. Oh my God. Look at how this has permeated our culture here. There's so much to see in Times Square. I get a little ADD because now we've got ads with the masks. Everybody is, virtue signaling with the masks. Tons of businesses out of business here.
That's talent right there, bro.
Say?
That's talent right there. Let me see what you're doing.
Look at that.
This is, I'm doing a broadcast here on Crowdsource the Truth. Where are you guys from? New York or somewhere else?
No, we're from
Los
California.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Communist Republic of California? How are you enjoying New York?
We're right here, bro.
Why did you guys come to New York?
Because
Daughter's 21st birthday.
Yes, our daughter's 21st birthday. She lives
Lives
here
out
in
here.
New York.
And what do you think?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm in a what the heck is going on? This is like, it like feels somber here. Like in the early morning at 7:30, there was nobody out.
And look at all the businesses closed.
Right.
Why
and
is
normally
that? Why
it's
is
like.
that?
Well, it's because of the lockdown. No one's been out, and they've been closed for months. No business. They open back up. Whoever owns this building wants their rent, so they have to close.
Look at the viruses. Look at how spiked. Why aren't you wearing a
But
mask?
see, I'm not wearing a mask because I do not believe the mask is effective at blocking the virus. There are microscopic holes in each of these masks that are much larger than the virus
But don't you
particles.
think by not wearing a mask it affects you faster than everybody else? No?
No, because
a good immune
I
system?
try to stay healthy and have a good immune system. I try to eat as much organic food as I can. I avoid
Do you know
fast
anybody
food.
that's got the virus?
So
I
you think-
avoid booze, and
Why
I don't
booze,
normally get the flu. And I think there's a lot of diseases
So you know what?
around that
I
you could.
praise you for that.
Let me just fully answer, please. I think there's a lot of diseases around that you could get. I think there's a lot of dangers that you experience when you go outside. I could get hit by a cab. People are smoking cigarettes. I could get cancer from that. These cars are spewing pollution into the air. So I think it is a totally incorrect approach for me. First of all, I'm not sick, so I'm not at risk
You're
of
not
making other
preaching it to
people sick.
everybody else. That's the way you want to think.
Well, this is the way I know. No one should do what I do. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. But I have spoken to doctors who say that by putting this mask on and rebreathing carbon dioxide that you're exhaling,
Trap it inside. Yeah.
you are reducing your blood oxygenation, you are reducing your own immune system, and you are recirculating bacteria from your mouth that you normally
Absolutely,
exhale.
but we're not
Unfortunately-
carriers, so-
Unfortunately, I mean, if people did what you're doing, the virus would stop, but a lot of people don't care. They drink alcohol, they get crazy, they get happy,
Here's one other thing. They're telling us that cases are going up, and that's true. They test people and say, oh, you have the coronavirus in you. What they're not, have you ever heard of zoster virus?
No.
More than 1 in
Educate us
4
on that.
people have zoster. Do you ever have chicken pox?
Yes.
Yes.
You have it. If I were to test you for zoster virus, you'd be positive for zoster virus. If I spent 7 months on the news telling you that zoster virus, oh my God,
Just like the herpes, everybody's a carrier.
it's herpes
They're
is
derma-
zoster
they're
virus.
dermatted, yes.
Okay? So I could test everybody and say, oh my God, there's an amazingly huge number of cases of zoster virus, coronavirus.
Here's the thing, is that people are really dying.
How many people are dying? It's going down, the number
You're
of
right,
deaths.
you're right.
The cases go up, the deaths go
The cases
down.
going up.
That means it's becoming less dangerous because more people are becoming immune to it. But you guys should not do what I do. You guys should not follow my advice. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
You should enjoy your trip here to New York.
will.
What I'm
Thank you.
concerned about is these businesses close.
Absolutely, I
People
agree.
become alcoholics. They jump off of buildings. They beat up their wives.
This is like the Great Depression. that
They
were
become
jumping out of
criminals.
the-
They go rob a store because they have no money. Their family
Looting.
breaks up. Their children are affected. Little kids.
Families that stay home and
Okay,
Pete,
go to 34th Street.
Be safe,
Macy's
you guys.
is just locking, they're boarding up.
I
everything.
know.
Why is that?
Why is
Because
that?
they're worried there's going to be looting and rioting tonight for
Absolutely,
Halloween.
absolutely, I agree.
Because the cops are stood
Stay
down and they're
safe.
doing nothing.
Of course.
Where can we find your videos at?
Look for Jason Goodman on YouTube.
You got it, Jason.
Crowdsource the
Take
truth.
care.
Thanks, guys. There we go. See, I love coming out to Times Square and speaking to people, getting their opinion, sharing my opinion. Nothing I say is medical advice. I don't know anything about being a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor, and I'm not trying to tell people what to do. See, it's very difficult to operate this thing with the gloves on. Okay, so I wanted people to see that. Yeah, these businesses being closed, I really want people to kind of understand what the implications of that are. This is Times Square. I don't know if there is a location in the United States of America that generally has more foot traffic than this. And for these retail shops to be closed and closed for months and months is very unusual. Now, I see some of my kind of peeps over here. There's a jib getting set up. What is going on here? Is there some kind of Halloween party going down? Oh, we got Batman. That's like heavy duty Batman. I don't know if there's a Halloween parade, but these guys, people with jibs are not going to want to talk to me with a camera out. Is this for the parade? Are you guys going to be shooting the parade?
What parade?
I don't know. What are you guys setting up the jib for?
Just shooting TV.
But is there a parade or a party happening here or something?
Election.
What's that?
The election.
The election. Oh. So for when the election happens, it's just a view of Times Square? That's interesting.
Pretty much, yep.
Huh. The election. That's weird. Now, here we see Tony's DiNapoli. And we got a guy skateboarding on the sidewalk, which he shouldn't be. So they've set up this whole outdoor restaurant, but it is freezing. Nobody wants to be dining outside in this cold weather. We have some people dressed as police officers here. Are you involved with these guys with the jib? Is there some kind of Halloween party going on?
I have no clue what's going on, sir. I'm just trying to be.
Oh, you guys are filming this. I got it. Sorry.
Be a prophet.
Ha ha ha, that is cute. That is great. See, that's what I mean. Halloween is fun. Are you guys cops and that's your kid, or it's just Halloween?
Halloween.
Uh-huh. That's a good costume. See, that's good. But the poor little kid has to wear a mask. I don't want to bother them about their kid wearing a mask. So we got the police definitely getting ready. And as those people were saying, I did observe that on 34th Street, there is an incredible amount of activity in terms of people boarding up their stores and stuff. Oh, I forgot to check. I hope this is working as far as being live. Let me just check here. This thing seems to be maybe not. Did it go live? It says waiting. Oh no. Do we have live on here? It doesn't seem to be playing. I don't know. Damn. It says live. Are people watching? Oh, there we go. There we go. It is live. Okay. I tell you, this is a treacherous business. You never know what's happening if you're live, if you're not live. Holy shit. Sorry, I just heard these police rifles being cocked. That's a sound you don't hear all the time. I guess they're getting ready to shoot people. This is the Special Response Group. That's counterterrorism police. So yeah, not a lot of Halloween activity. We've got some people dressing up. But, right, so this is what I wanted to say. Like, we saw that little kid dressed as a police officer driving around in his little car. That's fun. It's fun for the little kid. De Blasio and Cuomo have said F you to New York and taken the fun out of Halloween. There was a story that, I hope this is the right one here. I think this is it. Yeah, almost 400 people arrested for going to a Halloween party. Now, I think I've seen more than 400 people involved in, protests, riots, whatever we want to call it. I think you're more likely to get arrested at a Halloween party than a riot. So, what message is that sending to people? But the other thing is, even if you dislike Halloween, people do like it, and they come to New York for Halloween parties, to go to the clubs, to go to the famous Halloween parade, which I don't think is happening now. I'm pretty sure they've canceled the Halloween parade. And what that means is people who would have come and had their vacation. Are you guys visiting New York, or are you from here?
We're from here.
Well, so what do you think about their shutting down Halloween? Isn't Halloween usually fun?
It is,
It's
but
still
we're
fun.
still making it happen.
But you're not dressed up, are you?
Of course.
I'm
We're
a
on
ninja,
the
bro.
see Mary J. Blige right here.
Oh, yes, of course.
And hey.
Couldn't be without
Where's
you.
this
But
being-
what are you guys dressed up as?
Well,
I'm a ninja.
90s something. I don't know what.
She's Whoopi Goldberg.
But if you see a ninja,
Yeah.
he's not a ninja.
What if I'm an off-duty ninja?
Then you just blew it.
What if I'm off duty? But I see your point. What is this? This is so cool.
This is if you guys go on YouTube and look for Jason Goodman, you'll see this.
Is this recording? Is this live?
Yeah, we're going out live now. We got probably about like 500-600 people watching on YouTube.
Yo, so question, bro.
Yeah.
We're with the Rock churches, and we're doing a campaign to pray with like more than 1 million people. We call it Rock a Million. Can we pray with your
That's
people?
why we're here.
Well, I mean, sure. What do you want to pray for?
We're just gonna say the prayer of salvation. Is that okay?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know what it's all about, but
It's very simple.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so just repeat after me, brother. If you like.
Well, you can say it. No.
All right.
Yeah. And you
All
guys
right.
feel free.
If y'all watching, repeat after me. Heavenly Father,
Heavenly Father,
I come to you now.
I come to you now.
In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Thank you for dying for me.
Thank you for dying for me.
And rising on the third day.
And rising on the third
Thank you
day.
for blessing my life.
Thank you for blessing my life.
Making it brand new.
Making it brand new.
And making all my dreams come true.
And make all my dreams come true.
In this very moment.
In this very moment.
This very minute.
In this very minute.
In this very second.
In this very second.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
That is a great message. I really appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for
Thank
allowing
you.
us to do it,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys have a great day and
Walk in the name of
stay
Jesus.
safe, okay?
Yo, stay warm, brother.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Boy, that's really nice. Meeting a lot of cool people today on the street. That is good. Whoops. I'm going to lose the phone here. So yeah, I mean, people want to be out on Halloween, having a nice time, celebrating with friends. And a lot of people normally would come to New York. So by canceling Halloween, so many people are fascinated by the gimbal today. By canceling Halloween, I think there's a lot of tourism business that is going to suffer because people, I think, particularly we got Halloween on a Saturday. That's rare. People would typically, come to New York maybe Thursday, Friday, spend the weekend, go to a show, stay at a hotel, go to some restaurants, probably, get all their shopping done at the Weed World. We could see right over there. This I think is a fancy restaurant, Oriel. It looks closed as hell. And I think that down there is also, I think I've been to that restaurant. That's Burger and Lobster down there. But it's a problem because here's retail space. I mean, every day that I go out, there's more gigantic retail spaces closed. Modell's prime retail space. This is right next to Times Square. Happy Halloween. Well, there's a better mood on the street today, which is nice. And I'm telling you, I enjoy Halloween in New York. You can go to parties, you can go to clubs, dance, meet people, dress up in a cool, funny costume. One year I went as Clark Kent. I had the Superman shirt and a suit on, and that was perfect because I had dinner at a sort of non-Halloweenish restaurant, and then I just unbuttoned the suit and went to a Halloween party, and it was a good costume. So I'm a little sad that they've done this. And what's happening is there's obviously a lot of people anticipating chaos tonight because we're back to the wood. This is Tourneau Corner, or maybe it's just called Tourneau, but it's on the corner. The ads used to say Tourneau Corner. Right next to it, we got Prime Retail for lease. But that's a very expensive watch store, so obviously they don't want their place to get all smashed up and steal the watches. There were a lot of other places putting up boards on my way over here. I don't know if people got to see the two shows yesterday, but we had some really great shows. We had John Cullen. People can watch on Patreon and Subscribestar. John was bringing forward a lot of information. Oh, sorry, this was with David Hawkins. We were talking about steganographic messaging, messages hidden within mainstream news and different reports and stuff. And David often talks about how patents are used to do these things. We were looking at that spoken text display apparatus. Social engineers are trying to convince people that that's a teleprompter, but it's not. You cannot. This guy's dressed as a Confederate soldier. That's controversial. I don't know if people will get it. But you can't patent something that already exists. So there had to be something about it that was unique. The thing that's unique about that is that it uses speech recognition to make sure the person reading the news is reading from the teleprompter, and then it changes the text being displayed if the person isn't reading. So for people who follow David Hawkins and watch his show on Fridays on Patreon and Subscribestar, those people will know that the BBC has a very weird sculpture outside its broadcasting house in London across from the Langham Hotel, which is closely associated with espionage during World War II. They have a sculpture outside there of this. People can watch on the show and see what it's of, but one of these angels that is surrounding this figure that appears to be some kind of representation of Christ, they're holding a book that says Absculta, which is the first line in the Benedictine something or other, and it means listen and obey. So that was a very interesting breakthrough on David's show yesterday, that device, the spoken text display apparatus, compels the person reading the news to listen and obey. We've heard now this morning that ABC News has finally broken the deadlock, the blackout on the Hunter Biden laptop news with regard to mainstream media. Look at that, they got a sync now in Bryant Park. You can wash your hands. But ABC News now is talking about it. That's quite interesting. I would not have expected that. But maybe more people will find out about this. And I believe now Joe Biden has changed his mind in saying he would comply with a Senate subpoena. I didn't know that you had an option. I thought when you get subpoenaed to appear before the U.S. Senate, you just have to do it. Now I'm in Bryant Park, and I just noticed this. I don't know if I've ever, Charles will know, but I don't know if they've ever had an ice skating rink in Bryant Park before. They usually have this Christmas village where they're selling stuff, but I guess, I don't know, maybe they didn't want so many stores so close together. So now they have an ice skating rink. That's pretty nice. There's somebody dressed for Halloween as X-Men or something. What is she dressed as? So people can have some fun ice skating on Halloween. That's cool. But you know what I found out? This Christmas village, it's sponsored by Bank of America or something. It's nice. Some music playing. Is that live music? Sounds like it might be. Oh no, it's just from the speakers here. But still, very nice. People can come do some ice skating. I don't know if you have to bring your own ice skates or if they rent them to you. I've never been ice skating in Bryant Park. There were some other things I wanted to share with people. I had some video clips prepared. Right, we want to talk about the Emmys lawsuit. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh yeah, did people see this? So, New York nightmare, a man falls through the sidewalk into a rat-filled chasm. That is a nightmare. It was curious to me the age of the guy that fell into that rat-filled chasm. I think we have a little video here of the guy falling in. Gotta have the video. But of course, this guy, people can guess. How old was he? 33. Very strange. Now, a lot of people, when I bring this type of stuff up, they say, oh, get the gematria guy on and numerology or whatever. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm not saying that this is numerology. I'm not saying it's gematria. I'm saying this is a coded message. The use of that number in the article, I say, is a message to someone. I don't know who it's to. I don't know what it means. I'm just saying these occurrences of 33s, they just happen way too often. People should, if you doubt me, I mean, I didn't put it there, but just start looking around. There was another article a couple days ago talking about some Ukrainian fitness influencer who was 33, who thought that COVID didn't exist, and then he died of the COVID infection, according to an article that's been republished all over the place. Now, my first wife was Ukrainian, and I've had many friends who are Ukrainian and Russian as a result of that. They tell me that it's very uncommon to have tattoos in Russia or any of those former Soviet countries unless you've been to prison. I don't know if that's still true. That was many years ago. It's also weird that they show his super bikini model wife there. I don't know what that article is all about. But when I just looked into that a little bit, turns out that the information all comes from just Instagram posts from his wife. So that makes it to news all around the world. Instagram posts from the wife, because it supports the idea that even if you're big and strong, you could die from coronavirus. Just looking at that guy, I'm wondering, was he using steroids? Could he? Because he's a huge, jacked workout dude. And I knew a guy who was a steroid user who died of a heart attack when he was 41 or 42. And it was determined that it was from that. So how do we know that guy died of coronavirus? Did we see the autopsy from Ukraine? I mean, it's amazing the stories that people believe right away and don't believe, no matter how much evidence it is. I'm thinking about the Hunter Biden laptop story, of course. The other thing that I wanted to, there's so much weird stuff going on around New York right now. On my walk up here, I saw this sign here. This was outside Duane Reade or CVS. It's basically like a drugstore, convenience store. And it says, in accordance with CDC guidelines, we will not be distributing Halloween candy this year. Now, I mean, CVS, they say distributing. that's not a place that you knock on the door and say trick or treat. They're selling candy. So has the CDC decided that candy is not good for you? Because I think that was determined in maybe 2 seconds after they invented candy. But it's a part of the fun of Halloween. Little kids love candy. Now, even when I was much younger, I did enjoy trick-or-treating as a kid, but I realized at a slightly older age, that's a terrible idea. Sending your kids around, knocking on the door, asking people for candy. There's a lot of things about that aren't good ideas. But having parties, dressing up, taking your kids around, and just enjoying a day to have fun, I don't think people should go and do pagan rituals or do what people should do whatever they want to do. But I'm just saying there are aspects to Halloween that I think a lot of people enjoy, and we're in this mode here where the government gets to tell you, no candy, no restaurants, no parties, no fun. You got to put on a mask, but not a Halloween mask, and that's basically what you got to do. So let's see, I had some other stories in here I wanted to share. Maybe that's it. Right. So on my walk up here, there were a lot of people boarding up because I think they're afraid there's going to be mischief tonight and they're going to destroy a lot of places. So there were some places down over there getting the wood back in action. This is, we're on 6th Ave, and there's just every day I come out, more stores closing, more things out of business. It might have been a better idea for de Blasio and Cuomo to maybe, I don't know, promote tourism, and those people there, I guess they can't promote tourism and simultaneously tell you that coronavirus is increasing. So they've got this guy's playing Thriller over here. But we got retail space available under there. Tons of places closing. I did notice some places actually opening, which was interesting. We had, there's a Krispy Kreme Donuts over here that's just opened. That wasn't there before. Kind of had a line out in front of it. Yeah, there it is. And I noticed a Popeye's chicken opening on 7th Avenue. I don't know if I've ever eaten Popeye's chicken, but these are junk food places. I mean, Krispy Kreme donuts are delicious. People love them, as you can see, but it's not exactly healthy or necessary. And it's a giant, corporate thing. So these small independent restaurants and independent businesses are all closing. And then I guess maybe these corporations can get great 10-year leases when, whoever owns these buildings that are basically derelict at this point. Perhaps things like Krispy Kreme and Popeye's chicken and Taco Bell can come in there and buy up a ton of stuff, get a great deal. It's worrisome. So we're also at a moment where I think most people are going to not really want to be outside, eating outside. I mean, look at that. They've built basically a room outside, all of these things, because it's totally unbearable to be outside in 47 degrees, sitting still, trying to eat your dinner. So if...
Can I get in there?
What do you want to talk about?
Just want to say hi.
Sure.
Yeah, let me say hi. When you're doing something, that's what I say. How y'all doing? Be safe.
Thank you.
I don't even know what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Thanks. A lot of friendly people out today. Now, so this is sad for this restaurant because they're building these outdoor tents, which if cloth masks keep the virus out, that tent would probably keep the virus in. So there's very little logic going on with how they are handling this whole virus situation. Be safe. Take care. Take care. So they've got the tents keeping the virus in, but obviously having anybody inside the restaurant, it just makes no sense, except for trying to put these restaurants out of business. I must say, it's making me feel good to be approached by people who are being friendly rather than people who want to try to attack me which has happened in the past. So that's a good thing. Here's a place out of business. It says dining area open, but I don't think that's correct. Pax, we saw, I think, another one of these out of business elsewhere in the city. That's like a lunch place. If you're working in your office, you just go down there. Normally that place is packed out. Okay? We're coming up on 34th Street, which is another one of the busiest sort of shopping streets. That's Macy's right over there. Oh, what are the cops doing? Something going on. Huh. So, yeah, let's check out 34th Street. Happy Halloween. No. Victoria's Secret's still closed. People will obviously relate that to what's his name, Wexner. Why say Happy Halloween? Well, because today is Halloween and I want people to have a happy day. Let's see what the comments are saying. See, WeWork is always trying to snag the phone and screw me up. Don't like WeWork. It's 33rd Street next. Well, yes, it is the one street below 34th. That's how numbers work. So this is the only thing that's being sold here outside of Victoria's Secret. It's boarded up. Let's see. That used to be the Gap. We've discussed how that's now closed. Pink and Victoria's Secret are boarded up. This was something else here, I think, or maybe this is still Victoria's Secret. Please share this video around. What's happening is there's a lot of social engineers trying to reduce the reach of my videos through a variety of different means. And yeah, so what I was saying before is that, people who are trying to disparage the business model of Crowdsource the Truth by saying, oh, you should do all your videos for free, those people are either social engineers or incredibly short-sighted, frankly stupid people, because I cannot sustain what I'm doing without earning money. I've been doing this for 4 years, putting myself out here, getting sued by people. So let's talk about the Emmys lawsuit. First initial scheduling hearing yesterday in Emmys. Well, it's NATAS, the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, suing my corporation, Multimedia System Design, Inc. And they're doing that because initially I had some conversations with their lawyer trying to help them stay out of a sticky, tricky, gigantic disaster of a lawsuit. I had reason to believe that they may have been lured into this. And so I was having some conversations with their attorney to try to help them avoid what is undoubtedly going to be an embarrassing and expensive waste of time for them. And it's my opinion that from those conversations, they determined that I had a sufficient grasp of the law that if I were allowed to defend myself pro se, they were likely to lose. And in fact, now they're likely to lose, but because they sued my corporation, and in New York, corporations cannot be, even sole proprietorships cannot be defended pro se, I was forced to hire a lawyer. And it is my opinion that that was a strategic, tricky move that they did because they knew that it would put financial pressure on me. And it is only through the help of sponsors of Crowdsource the Truth that I have been able to afford to hire that lawyer. So I want to thank the people that have stepped up to help keep Crowdsource the Truth going. All of the people that complain in the YouTube comments that if I were a patriot, I would just let everybody see this information. I guarantee none of those people would have helped me out when I got sued for producing information. So I want to thank the people that sponsor the show. both on subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. And I want to give a big thank you to the people who have gone to crowdsourcethetruth.com and scrolled down below today's video to get to the Counter Lawfare section and select one of these tiers of sponsorship for the Counter Lawfare Fund. When you sponsor the Counter Lawfare Fund, you get a gift subscription to the sponsor exclusive videos on Crowdsource the Truth, and there's a couple other gifts in there as well. And I apologize if people haven't received their gifts yet. There's a few people that have come in at really generous amounts. I have a special gift for those people, and I'm going to try to get it out today. I've just been so busy working on all these different lawsuits because I still have a social engineer who's suing me. People know my former co-host, George Webb, who now is apparently suing CNN or something like that. I have not brought a lawsuit against anyone. I am not a pro se plaintiff in any frivolous lawsuits. I am defending myself. Are people noticing how many places are going out of business here behind me? It's a really bad situation. And this is, one of my favorite buildings in New York City, the Empire State Building. Every time I used to come to the city as a little kid, I would marvel at that. The Empire State Building. I love going up to the top of it. I should do that soon and take everybody up there on a live stream for people who haven't been up to the top. It is still open, I'm pretty sure. When I walk by there are guys, there's like separate companies that are trying to sell you tour packages that include tickets to go up there, riding around on a bus or whatever. But they're always kind of hanging out in front of the Empire State Building here, hawking. It's these guys in the red jackets trying to hawk their little tourism packages. And normally there's a huge line out here. They're putting up wood on the Empire State Building. Look at that. So obviously, see, people are worried that there's going to be, oh man, the mighty Empire State Building submitting to the wood. Yeah, because they don't want people to smash the glass. Behind there is where Heartland Brewery used to be. I like it when dogs wear shoes. So yeah, I mean, wisely, they've decided that instead of paying to smash their, to replace any smashed glass, they'll just put up wood and, this is terrible. The Empire State Building is a beautiful marvel of engineering, Art Deco architecture, design, and here it is, frankly, looking like shit with wood out in front of it. This is so bad for just the quality of life around New York City, to walk outside and be looking at this depressing wood, being reminded that people are likely to smash stuff. Look at all this stuff out of business right outside the Empire. Souvenirs, of course, because nobody is around coming to the Empire State Building wanting to buy any souvenirs. So let's see, how's my battery power doing here? It's pretty cold today, and that can often have a negative impact on battery performance. That was a big problem when we were shooting Call of the Wild in Lincoln, Montana. It was like 11 degrees every day, and maintaining the equipment in low temperatures was a huge challenge. How are people doing in the comments? Someone says, Truth Jesus Love says, what is Cuomo and de Blasio doing to protect these businesses? Well, nothing. They are deliberately setting policies that are destroying these businesses. And I know a lot of people don't care about Hollywood either, and there's a lot of reasons to feel that way, but there's something developing right now with the James Bond movie, No Time to Die. And I don't really care about James Bond or whoever owns this one, Sony or Paramount or whoever owns it. But it's not to say that I don't care about them. They employ a lot of people. And, when you look at a movie like James Bond, I think that one cost something like $300 million to make. So The problem they're having with it is it was originally supposed to be released in movie theaters, I think for the summer. But because of coronavirus, they canceled it, held off the release. And then they wanted to release it around Christmas, but then they just canceled that. And there's some kind of like frantic negotiating going on where they're trying to decide if they should put it out streaming or whatever. The reason I'm bringing all of this up is because that entire industry is changing, and it's going to cost people jobs. Movie theaters are going to close. We are not going to have movie theaters when this is all done. Because just like these restaurants can't afford to stay open, movie theaters that have been paying their huge rent, and some of them are independently owned. I mean, that is the one link in the Hollywood chain where there was still independent businesses. There's something called it's also called NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners. I always found that a little weird. But those are independent theater owners who join that thing, and through that body they negotiate with the studios and everything. But there have always been a lot of unethical tactics that Hollywood studios, particularly Disney, used. There are some friends of mine when 3D was really starting to hit. There's one guy who had a movie kind of early that he wanted to get out, and Disney straight up told theaters, if you play this guy's movie, you're not going to get Star Wars and Marvel and all the different stuff that Disney owns, so they can strong arm the theaters and keep that stuff out. And I don't know the politics behind this James Bond movie, but somebody's going to be stuck holding a $300 million bag, because if I was Apple or Amazon or Netflix, they're not in a hurry to negotiate any of this stuff. They know that every day that James Bond movie doesn't get released, the studio that owns it becomes more desperate to sell it, and it's a buyer's market. I mean, look at what's going on around here, everybody. It's nothing but U-Hauls, closing businesses, and that kind of thing. You're not allowed to go to parties or you get arrested. They're boarding up the businesses again because they're likely to get smashed. And I mean, I guess it's convenient, board it up now and leave it boarded up for when Donald Trump landslides demented Joe Biden and his crackhead son's laptop, and everybody goes crazy and starts to riot all around here. But yeah, I mean, when we were talking on David Hawkins' show about steganography, that's what I was talking about with the 33s. The New York Times tells us that a guy, I mean, maybe it's a coincidence, 33-year-old guy falls through the rat hole, 33-year-old guy dies from coronavirus. Just look around how many times that 33 shows up. Text 3033 to Joe Biden if you want a communist president. Tony Bobulinski's address was 10330 Santa Monica Boulevard. I like Tony Bobulinski, and I think he's got real evidence, but I feel like anytime that 33 shows up, it feels like some kind of coded message letting somebody know something. I don't know who the somebody is. I don't know what they're trying to let them know, but we got a big line here with graffiti. What are people waiting for? This is what? Sample sale, rag and bone. Okay. So I don't know what that's all about, but we got space for rent, retail stores closed, oyster company for rent. This is where we were last week, to be fair. Everything's still closed over here. I'm gonna head down. It looks like we got enough battery to do this. Another real popular spot on Halloween is Washington Square Park. Normally there is a big parade that goes down Fifth Avenue, and then it ends in the West Village, and everybody goes crazy, having parties, dancing around in their Halloween costumes. I don't think any of that'll happen. And restaurants and bars, that really could use the business right about now. Today is really the first day that these outdoor restaurants are going to be faced with a substantial problem of people not wanting to be outside. And we can see that. Almost all of them are totally empty. And I don't think it's going to get much warmer than this. How's it been today? Anybody coming and eating?
Yes, a lot of people.
Okay, well that's good. But it doesn't look like there are a lot of people eating now. And to be fair, it's only 10 to 5, so maybe it's too early for dinner and too late for lunch, but it doesn't seem too promising. All the restaurants I see appear empty. Maybe that guy doesn't want to say anything negative on camera. Sliding door company appears out of business. Let's see what people are talking about in the comments. Please share this video. Jefferson 33 says Trump will win 47 states. What's the 33 about, Jefferson? A lot of places closed around here. Well, we could hit a third park. Let's go through, although Times Square is not actually a park. That was a square I was in. Here, what's this for retail space? More closed stuff. 225. Let's see what's happening here. Oh yeah, right. So Sean Connery died. Right, that was the other reason I was thinking about James Bond. He's in trouble. That No Time to Die movie, the new James Bond movie, I think is going to go down in history as a little bit, perhaps one of Hollywood's greatest financial disasters ever. Right, and the Boris Johnson announced that England is locking down again. See, I think that's it, is that they're using the news to do all this messaging to freak people out, like those people from California who I met, so that in their minds, just like they did with the Russia, it's a foregone conclusion that coronavirus is going mad. More cases than ever, nobody's around, kids can't, have Halloween, no Halloween parties, no trick-or-treating, no candy, no fun, no James Bond. Bruce Lee died at 33. I did not know that. Yeah, so Halloween has been strictly limited. There would normally be tons of kids in here, little kid parades and costumes and candy and whatnot, but there's nobody around. The park is super empty because it's getting cold. I mean, there are some people dressed slightly Halloweenish, which is fine. But the park is looking pretty empty today. That's a cute dog. That's like a puppy, I guess.
Which one? So you sit like facing this way.
Little things make you smile like that. I've been stuck in the apartment all week. During the entire pandemic since March, unlike a lot of people, I was going out most days, walking around, just being outside, interacting with people, even though most of them were crazy and trying to injure me. It was at least interesting, and my mind was occupied, and I was doing things. But the combination of inclement weather and just the unpleasant nature of encounters, I had been pretty much staying in the apartment like all week or maybe even longer. I went out, I can't remember if it was Sunday or Wednesday the last time I was out doing an episode with Charles, but I just got to this point where I hadn't left my apartment in maybe the largest block of time since I lived there, and it was making me feel bad. So I know how people feel being locked in their houses And now, oh, I love dog Halloween costumes. I'm telling you, Halloween is fun. That dog's dressed as a shark.
This way or this way?
That is funny. But yeah, now we got lockdowns coming again. I mean, does anybody else find it coincidental that it happens exactly a couple days before the election and that Joe Biden has been spewing the absolute nonsense that coronavirus is Donald Trump's fault? This looks like something of a Halloween party. Somebody dressed as Slash. Yeah, people want to have fun on Halloween. They want to flash their friends. This is crushing the human spirit, forcing everybody to stay locked inside. Psychological ramifications. Somebody here says, someone's going to write in Jason Goodman. That's G Dubs is going to write in Jason Goodman for president. I appreciate that. Thank you. Huh, Healthy American Group on Meetup. I'll have to look into that. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing here to the Flatiron Building. I'm sure I have mentioned a number of times to people that when we were shooting Amazing Spider-Man, I was actually up on the top of that. It was incredibly scary because that is not a building that is designed for people to be walking around on the top of, and it literally was sort of one wrong step and you were going right off the edge.
I don't know. It just somehow.
23rd Street. Walk sign is on for 23rd.
I just felt like
That's new, that thing yells at you and tells you the name of the street. But there's very few people out right now considering it's Halloween. Normally you'd see a ton of people walking around wearing crazy costumes, you know, having fun. This is kind of a food court over here. We've got like a coffee place in it. There's another dog costume. Jack-o'-lantern dog.
there was supposedly when I looked at the NYC event.
More wood. Yeah, we really need Donald Trump to win on Tuesday, and any sort of rioting and craziness needs to be suppressed, not allowed, tamped down, and people doing it need to be arrested. How could they arrest people for going to a Halloween party and not arrest people for, you know, assaulting people and rioting? And how come they're not arresting? Here's a Harry Potter store coming in 2021. What do we need a Harry Potter store for? That is unbelievable. Yeah, so a lot of corporate junk coming in. I think we'll head down to Washington Square, see if there's any Halloween type stuff going on down there. What do we got for comments? Dee Dee says, are you fearful to go vote in New York City? No, why would I be fearful to vote? I'm really not afraid of too many things. I'm concerned that New York is getting body slammed and kind of hasn't gotten up off the mat yet. What's going on over there? It's a big line for something. Flying tiger? Is that a line for that? I don't think I even know what that is. Here's a guy dressed for Halloween. Yeah, there's a cab stopping right in the crosswalk, and a guy gave him the finger. I don't know if that got on camera, but I agree. cabs do stupid stuff. So yeah, we got Charles Schwab coming in over here. Flying Tiger, Copenhagen. Those people are waiting. I haven't been in a retail store. Well, I guess Louis Rossman's Fix-It place. I think, is this place out of business? Yeah, for rent. Wow, this is right across the street from my old office where 21st Century 3D used to be. This place was, Punch it's called. I used to come here after work sometimes for dinner and have a couple drinks and stuff. So that's gone. Here's an entire building for lease. Every day that I come out, there's more businesses closed, retail space available over there. And I mean, I'm walking down a lot of the same streets every day, and there are businesses, more and more businesses closing. I have a feeling if I was to traverse a wider range of streets, I'd see probably even more businesses closing. Waiting for the light here. 1K in the chat. Yes, Amy, thank you. Please share the video. So Julia is saying that I should get some kind of award for all this New York coverage. I don't think anyone would know the impact without the coverage. Thank you, Julia. People, I don't know, can people nominate me for an Emmy? So we had this first hearing in the Emmy versus MSD trial, or, lawsuit there. And it's moving forward. We're going to go to discovery. I have moved. This is all public stuff that people can read on the docket. I've moved. My lawyer, person representing me on my behalf, has put in a motion to dismiss their copyright claims because they are not valid claims. It's not a copyright infringement. It's a fair use as a parody. So we've moved to dismiss that. And then they've also said that I've libeled Adam Sharp, the president and CEO, and his dead father, Roger Sharp. And we're challenging that because I haven't libeled them. I asked a question. I said, William Colby, former DCI, declassified a program in 1975 or 1976 called Operation Mockingbird, and according to the CIA, in that program, the CIA paid and otherwise influenced journalists to tell the news the way the CIA wanted it to be told. Not dissimilar to the spoken text display apparatus I was talking about with David Hawkins, where they want to make sure you're saying what they told you to say. And I'm just asking the question. 1963, Roger Sharp did a lot of reporting on the JFK assassination. Was he one of the journalists who was involved in this program? We don't know. They declassified the program, but I don't think they ever told us which journalists were being paid or influenced. And I've come to believe that it's possible that things like the Emmys and the Oscars are top-down control mechanisms. Did people see this ridiculous news story that Borat could win Oscars? The same idiot who used deception to get Rudy Giuliani into a video, have a woman hitting on him, touching him. She was of age, by the way. When you look at her, she doesn't look like she's 15. And, nobody said, hey, you're going to get interviewed by a 15-year-old. They just said it's an interview. He shows up. It's a 24 or 25-year-old woman wearing a dress. She looks like an adult, which she is. She is hitting on Giuliani, touching his knee, acting in a way that quite clearly is intended to be seductive. She invites him into the bedroom. And then Borat runs in and says she's 15. And that suddenly has become a big deal. That is absolute nonsense. And in the case of Giuliani having real evidence, that gets ignored. Borat was occupying the news cycle the other day, and now they're saying he's going to win an Oscar. So another thing that I've spoken with David Hawkins about quite a bit is this thing called the War Information Office, which was around during World War II. And the director of that was a guy named Elmer Davis, who was a famous journalist in the 40s and 50s. And he ran that War Information Office. When the war ended and they dismantled it in 1947, the when they created the CIA, I think around 1948, and then they created the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences in 1949. I'm going to look into this more, but I am beginning to feel that the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and the Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences, I believe these are created by the intelligence community, and that they are mechanisms of control. They control, this is the farmers market, by the way, super empty. Normally it's all trucks, all farmers. This is a fraction of what it usually is, and a fraction of the people here. So this is affecting farmers, this is affecting everybody. But I believe that these academies and the awards that they give out are top-down control mechanisms, where if you're Borat and you make a stupid movie that causes certain people to believe that Rudy Giuliani is a pervert doing something with an underage girl, you'll reward that jackass for that, rather than getting him on some sort of civil tort for deceiving Giuliani. I mean, if you get somebody to sign a contract that says you're going to appear in a video that's an interview, but the video is actually a deception being used to smear you and falsely accuse you of doing something, I don't think a contract is valid. I don't know if a contract is valid if you engage in fraud to get a person to sign it. I don't know why Rudy Giuliani hasn't done anything. I guess he might think that making a big deal out of it could make it worse than it is. But personally, I would like to see Sacha Baron Cohen named as a co-conspirator in the cover-up of the Biden crimes and bring charges against him. If he's not a U.S. citizen, deport him to England. Don't let him back in the country. I would drop the hammer on Sacha Baron Cohen, not give him an Academy Award. But the fact that the Academy Awards are even talking about that is ridiculous. They're supposed to be, some super highfalutin, fancy thing, and here's a guy who's making dick jokes and rubbing himself all over fat, naked men. I mean, it's the most lowbrow type of humor, the most non-Academy Award type of thing I could imagine. That dude's shredding. Wow. HSBC for lease? No, that's next to HSBC. In between Vans and HSBC is for lease. Now, this is not normally farmers market over here. Everything is just sort of off the rails these days. For lease. Staples, is that open? It looks open, but it's got the wood. I didn't see too much in the way of Halloween stuff going on in Union Square there. I don't know if people are buying as much stuff from the farmers market as they normally would. I guess as the temperature starts to go down, it's not the best time of the year for them anyway.
I think it's possible, yeah.
I think I hear somebody shouting into a megaphone.
Repent, my brother, today. Repent, my sister. The blood of Jesus can never lose its power. The blood that was shed over 2,000 years ago is still alive.
I'm actually reminded right now that there's usually a Christmas Village market in here also.
Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me.
I don't play chess, but thanks. Well, I'm not here to support your chess game. And I don't need rude comments. A lot of people are dicks. Have you noticed that? And by the way, that guy was not inviting me to a friendly chess game. That's a chess game for money, and they want to shake you down. So don't play chess with people on the streets of New York. So we got the cops out. That's good. Big Bang cosmology in the Quran. Everybody's into something. So Capital One, whatever that was next to Capital One, is closed. You guys just smashed a bottle? It's gonna pop somebody's tire. Seemed quite happy about it. I'm about to get hit by a bus. Yeah. New York has become dangerous because crossing the street, you got some new parameters as far as. Anyway, so let's see. I feel like there's just not going to be that much Halloween activity around, even down in the park. Granted, it's usually happening sort of later at night, but at this hour, I would expect to see people kind of starting to accumulate, starting to head down there. That movie theater says temporarily closed. There was a bit of discussion in the Hollywood trades about the impact that Cuomo is having on the movie industry, that because New York wasn't open, theaters in New York weren't open, they didn't want to open, release these major films without having access to this market. And then somebody was telling me that, the Broadway theaters are suing de Blasio or Cuomo or both of them or something like that. And that one of the points that they had raised is that Saturday Night Live, which is busily making fun of President Trump all the time and supporting Joe Biden, they are allowed to have their studio audience. Why aren't Broadway shows? And the answer was that Saturday Night Live is paying the audience and saying that they're cast members. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can do that if you give everybody $1 and it just costs a couple $100 and you're selling, millions of dollars worth of ads to huge corporations, and they like the idea of making fun of Donald Trump because, as Elmer Davis in the War Propaganda Office said, people are much more susceptible to propaganda if it's coming in the form of entertainment. Are you guys doing a skateboarding shoot here on the sidewalk? You definitely don't have a permit for that, right? Okay, but people are supposed to be able to walk on the sidewalk. You're not supposed to be skateboarding. Sorry? You're not supposed to be skateboarding on the sidewalk.
Oh my God, what are you, a cop?
No, I'm not a cop. I'm somebody who's been injured by irresponsible shitheads like you. Oh, I see. Oh my God, are you a cop? So yeah, everybody should break the law unless the cops are around. Fucking asshole. This is what we've got going on around here. It's only getting worse, everybody. Sorry for the foul language. We're in a terrible condition here in New York. Is anybody going to be eating in these outdoor restaurants? I don't think so. Let's see. Wow, they are. I mean, it's freezing. And again, we got all this plastic. Like, what is the point of being outside if it's sealed in? I absolutely love that song, but it's a little bit sad to hear it with New York in this condition. I hate guys like those skateboarders who think they can just do whatever they want. Screw everybody else. We're taking over the sidewalk. That is thug mentality. Because the next thing is, oh, yeah, you're not supposed to break in and steal people's stuff. What are you, a cop? We're going to do what we want. That's what we've got going on around here. We've got a mayor and a governor who are totally ineffective. And what happens is organized society breaks down and we have chaos. Reservoir, I've been in there a bunch of times. Looks closed. Bunch of smart-ass skateboard video dickheads.
The idea is like how the kids come to dribble.
Andrew G says NYC going to shit. It's sad but true. Biden Harris tested positive for losing. That's great. That's funny. The comments are good. Thanks for participating in the comments. I don't know how these places are going to stay open. Look at the size of this gelato place. I mean, when I went to NYU, these stores were all like specialty, antiques and these natural cleaners. I don't know if these stores are going to be able to make it doggy style. Ha. Grooming. I guess there's a lot of turnover here. Here it says everything must go, 70 to 90% off. That sounds like they're closing. I think Charles and I saw that Knickerbocker restaurant is closed. That's been there for a real long time. Thanks to the people watching, 1.1 thousand. You know, if sponsoring the show is something that you can't muster, it does also help to just share the videos, even just giving a thumbs up. That's totally free. And it definitely helps. You know, I look at these videos and before they start, somebody goes in there and gives a thumbs down. Who's doing that? Who has time to do that? It's obviously people who don't want you don't know if you dislike it before it's even happened. So it's just somebody trying to prevent the video from getting taken up into the YouTube recommendation engine, prevent people from seeing it. Kind of the same thing that the Emmys guy wanted to do by slapping the copyright strike fraudulent claim. He did not want Crowdsource the Truth to gain momentum. You know, people go back to the beginning of when I started Crowdsource the Truth, about every 3 to 4 months there's been a strike that's disabled live streaming. And what I've realized that's done is that it breaks the momentum. It takes a long time to get back up to the types of numbers when I'm on a big roll of subscribers being added and more people viewing the live videos. When the live streaming capability is disrupted and we no longer have that momentum, it definitely slows down the number of subscribers, the number of viewers, and I think the people doing that know it. So that's part of the reason why I do the sponsor exclusive platform on Subscribestar and Patreon. And we're also going to be, I'm still working on beta testing this new video platform that's going to restore the entire sponsor exclusive library. People might recall when Mike Moore and I exposed the social engineers hovering around the Falcon Man, Alan Perot, trying to co-opt the credibility of the Gold Star families and, create a circumstance where the Daily Beast could accuse the president of retweeting a conspiracy theory, which they did. Right at the moment that the Daily Beast published that story smearing the president, they also deleted the entire Vimeo channel for Crowdsource the Truth. Now, that could be a coincidence, but regular viewers will recall that both the Daily Beast and Vimeo are owned by IAC, the Interactive Corporation. Chairman and CEO Barry Diller, Clinton pal, got Chelsea Clinton on the board of their $2 billion company. It's just a remarkable coincidence that they would shut down the Vimeo channel when Mike Moore and I exposed their stupid op. And that resulted in a lot of the sponsor exclusive videos going temporarily offline. But they will be back soon, and everyone who is sponsoring the show is helping with the development of that server. That's going to be the new server, not controlled by any giant tech company. It's going to be owned and controlled by me, and only a court order resulting from something illegal or some sort of civil tort, which we will not do, only that will be able to take the stuff down. So they'll surely come after me and start going after the money and everything. Why are the cops not stopping these guys from skateboarding all around? They're just doing nothing. This is Bill de Blasio's New York, a totally ineffective, strong-armed by thugs, massive reduction. So that was inches away from hitting me. Not a lot of Halloween activity.
No need to be competitive.
Beautiful light on the arch. I'm going to ask the police, why are they allowing these guys to skateboard?
Do you mind? I could show this with a lot of people. I have a big following.
Sorry.
In the background. Perfect.
There we go. There's something Halloweenish. That's pretty funny. Here we go. These guys are like Vikings or something. Game of Thrones. I don't know what they got going there, but that was interesting. I like Halloween. People get creative with the costumes and everything. Look at that. They've left the... May I ask you officers a serious question? Why have they allowed that section of the park to become a skate park?
In regards to skateboarding and the bicycle riding, it's the New York City Parks Department that enforces that.
But it's illegal to skateboard and ride in the park, isn't it?
They're supposed to dismount, yes.
So why is the Parks Department not stopping them from doing that? It's become a skate park over there. It's dangerous to pedestrians. What can be done?
Any concerns, you could always call 311 or 911.
Okay, thanks. So we can see how the bureaucracy allows crap like this to go on, and I'm sure I'd call that number and no one would do anything. They'd give me the runaround. You know, it's typical bureaucratic crap. Oh boy, well, it's nice to see a smile on a little kid's face without a mask, but God, I really feel bad for little kids that are thrown into this mess. This is really just minimal activity here in the park.
I was on the subway today. My observation is
I like that sumo wrestler costume. That's hilarious. Sumo wrestler and Easter Bunny? It's good.
Yeah, such a deal.
That is funny. We got Wolverine and Black Panther and Spider-Man. We had an overweight Spider-Man the other day. We got a very skinny Spider-Man today. There's another Spider-Man, and what's the green? Oh, I guess that's Dark Phoenix. Oh, low battery. Okay, yeah, I forgot one wire that would allow the battery to carry on.
Forever.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
What are you? I thought you were Halloween Jason, but
No, this is the Purge.
a what?
This
The
is the
Purge. Aha, aha.
The
That
God
might
mask from the Purge.
that might happen for real tonight.
Huh. I'll do my best to keep it from that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Has your Halloween fun been squelched at all?
Huh?
Has your Halloween fun been squelched at all by?
I don't think anybody on the planet could do that.
That's good. That's good. Have a good time.
Halloween.
Special time. Have fun. I do appreciate people keeping the spirit of fun alive. I don't appreciate people skateboarding through the park and the cops doing nothing. It's really bad. Well, then there's also always the cadre of women who use Halloween as an excuse to sort of live out their inner stripper or whatever. I gotta say, I appreciate that aspect too. So I guess that's all the Halloween fun for today. No, maybe not. Let's see. Let's just. Are you guys Game of Thrones? Is that it?
Yeah.
There we go.
I gave it away, buddy.
Huh? Did a lot of people guess wrong?
Yeah, no. It depends if they watch it or not.
I never watched it. Thanks. So that's pretty good. But I mean, the guy wearing the wolf is going to get pretty annoyed by the howling, I think. And people around him certainly will. I mean, so let's just think about this for a second. What an amazing waste of resources it is. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. How many NYPD officers? 5. 5 NYPD officers guarding this concrete structure, which, by the way, still bears the markers of the graffiti. Oh no, we got 6. 6 NYPD officers standing in here where nothing is happening. We have the same kind of skateboarding jerks who are violating the law and nothing being done about it. And see, skateboarding on the sidewalk, that is not your right. Breathing the air without a restrictive mask, I think that is. And these guys that want to skateboard all around in places where you're not supposed to do it are risking people's safety, but yet they're passing laws forcing people who aren't sick to have to wear masks. These types of things make me crazy. But I don't know, it doesn't seem to be much that we can do about it. Christmas is banned in New York, West said. I'm sure it will be. If you had a Christmas party, they'd come and arrest you. But go skateboarding in the park all you want. Okay, people who want to tell me what to do are going to get removed. And also learn how to spell anything before you're going to insult me. Your is apostrophe R-E. No law and order. That's right, Linda. And that's where it starts. When the police send a signal to idiots on skateboards that you can do whatever you want, they start to realize that the police aren't enforcing the law and they can do whatever they want, and it just deteriorates from there. But everything is backwards. That's right. Biden text number, right, by 2020 is 666, but it's got the 33s in there. And I mean, right away when he came out with that, I noticed it. 33, I'm telling people I think is a coded message to let people know that something is going on. I don't know what that something is, but it shows up a lot. We went through it at the beginning of this live stream. I'll keep it running until I get another battery warning, but that could be pretty soon. You never know what might happen walking up Fifth Avenue. I ran into Eric Schmidt on here one time, right around here actually, We'll see if that Schmidt head is still around. Born into a world of pain, Jeff says. Yeah. Well, I do feel bad for little kids that are coming up in all this, and the parents that have to deal with all that. Yeah, I mean, they're redefining what the law is, you know. They're enforcing the mask thing because that makes you real uncomfortable and makes, you know, life sort of generally unpleasant. They're not enforcing you're not allowed to skateboard in the park because the park is one of the only places that people can go to and maybe be there without a mask and kind of enjoy themselves. They want to increase the possibility that you'll get injured, and they want to send a message to people that want to defy the law that this is okay, and they can keep testing it. You can riot and not get in trouble, smash windows, not get in trouble, loot stores, get released right away, but if you go to a Halloween party, you're going to jail. If you are a Hasidic Jewish person and you go to a synagogue, they're going to arrest you. I do enjoy the dinosaur costume. It's very good. Inflatable dinosaur costume. And another dog costume. The church having a Halloween party? That seems strange. The church tells us that Black Lives Matter. Now, people will know I don't, but what that flag is all about. Okay, there's my next battery warning, so we're going to have to end pretty soon. I think that flag has something to do with the Crusades, but, you know, not, this is the Episcopal Church, so maybe that's an Episcopalian flag of some kind. I don't know about this kind of stuff. I apologize for the ignorance.
Hang out with the airbender.
But I'm just about to run out of battery. So I think that's going to be it for today's live stream. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I want to thank the people who sponsor Crowdsource the Truth and make this show possible. Got over 1,000 people watching right now, so if you enjoy it, sign up for a sponsorship. Go on to patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth or subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth. You're going to enjoy sponsor-exclusive content there. People can also go to crowdsourcethetruth.com and sponsor the Counter Lawfare Fund. You're going to get a gift subscription, depending on the sponsorship amount, at least 1 year. And you're going to get access to all the sponsor-exclusive shows. You make the show possible. You're helping me to fight the media bullies at the Emmys. And that's real important. So please sponsor the show, and I'll see everybody tomorrow for Sunday with Charles. Have a great night, have a safe Halloween, and a great weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody.